The recent sports-related COVID restrictions in Ontario has been lifted since the 1st of March, but some varsity athletes are discontent with the rules prior to this new plan, saying they have long suffered under the halt of practices. College and university sports teams had to stop competing until the end of January this year. Alistair Lamb, a member of the figure skating varsity team at McMaster University, is ineligible to get the qualifications as an elite athlete and lost the opportunity to receive scholarships at the university due to the cancellation of many championships and tournaments across Ontario. He was deeply desperate about the system.
All the restrictions make absolutely no sense. It's like 10, 20 people training at once at the most, whereas you have all the malls are still open. You can have like concerts going on. You can have sporting events where there's hundreds or thousands of people in the same venues, while no one can actually train.
A poll conducted by Ipsos last year indicates that the pandemic is jeopardizing the future of accessible sports in Canada. 48% of Ontario providers of sports programming are concerned about the possibility of permanent closure amid COVID, while 52% of providers of sports programming across Canada say they are concerned about the permanent closure of their organization. According to Ontario Regulation 2022, facilities are for the sole use of people who are competing to be a part of Team Canada at the next Summer or Winter Olympic Games or Paralympic Games. Hence, all OUA athletes were not considered elite athletes. Cyan Ko, a varsity team single skater at the University of Toronto, said motivation is hard to maintain amid rising frustration. She said she could not skate under the restrictions and had to find ice elsewhere, which is really difficult at times.
I think the measures are more or less necessary just because it's hard to start making exceptions. And ultimately, because I study public health, I'm pretty careful. So I think it's really important to be careful with everyone to ensure that the spread is limited. I think because I study public health, I'm definitely more on the cautious side. So I think that as long as we're opening things up in accordance to how COVID rates are and vaccination rates are, then that's totally fine.
Ontario University Athletics, as known as the OUA, a regional membership association for Canadian universities that assist in coordinating competition between their university-level athletic programs. Gord Grace, the president and CEO at OUA, said they were being denied an opportunity to return to train.
There was other organizations that were able to return to train, and we just want the same opportunity to present our case.
However, some scholars say that it is inevitable when facing a health crisis that varsity athletes should not be exempted from the restrictions. Susan Forbes, adjunct professor of health sciences at Ontario Tech University, acknowledged that it was fair for some varsity athletes to feel dissatisfied and challenged by the confined situation when they become dependent on facilities. However, people must look at the bigger picture to see who is helping to make those decisions and to find other possible alternatives for coaches to train them, such as virtual workouts.
Public health restrictions override anything. They're privileged in the sense that they get to do these sports. And there are a lot of other students who have lost other opportunities that are actually more impactful for them. So employment opportunities where they may have to be helping to support their families and things like that.
Ontario Health, who oversees all COVID limitations on athletes and sports organizations, has yet to respond. Cyan Ko, the Toronto Observer, Toronto.